Greetings in the name of the Most High Jah, Emperor Haile Selassie Jah, King Rastafari, Sila. Welcome to another episode of the Check Talk Podcast, episode 2. Today's topic is going to be charity. It's a continuation of the series, the 21 Steps to Financial Freedom and Generational Wealth. So, as I stated in the introduction video of this season, each subsequent episode is going to do a deep dive into each step towards financial freedom and generational wealth. So the first step is charity, and that's the topic for today's episode. So let's jump right into it. And so today we're going to discuss in depth why charity is important, why it's the number one step towards your financial freedom and generational wealth, and why it's important in relation to finances overall. And so the first reason that is step number one is because it helps you deal with stress and anxiety. A lot of times, finances can be very stressful. A lot of people get anxiety just by looking at their banking statements, looking at their account balance. And so therefore, being charitable helps relieve some of that stress and some of that anxiety when it comes to dealing with finances, because it puts you in the mind frame of abundance to where you can go and help people out. You can give even though you may not have everything that you need, but doing good things make you feel good. And then feeling good, it raises your vibration. And then having good vibration attracts good vibrations to you. So you do good, you get good. You put out good, you get good. And so also in doing good, there's no room for feeling stressed out or having anxiety, because you're in a good mind frame, because you're doing good, you're feeling good, and it's good vibes. So that's the first reason that being charitable is important, because it raises your vibration and keeps your spirit up, keeps you in good vibes, because life be lifing, and in life there's going to be ups and downs, like you said. So in being charitable, it helps you keep a good, positive mind frame during those down times, and therefore you'll still be able to make good financial decisions, even though you may be facing some financial hardships or financial challenges. And so moving right along, the second reason that charity is so good in reference to building financial freedom and generational wealth is because it's a good tool for networking. Because again, the people that do charitable work already have that mind frame of abundance. They already have a good positive spirit about themselves. They more than likely have good characters. So those are the people that you want to associate yourself with in life, period, but definitely in doing business. You need good relationships, people that you can trust, people that you can build strong bonds with. And a lot of times when you volunteer and you do charitable things, you align yourself with that type of network. And so if you're out volunteering and you see yourself around a crowd of people during your volunteering time, and you want to network, you want to speak to people, you want to kind of see what their backgrounds are, what they have expertise in, and see if that kind of relate to what you're doing, and see if that can help you on your goals and your path towards financial freedom and generational wealth. So that's why charity can be a great tool for networking, because it's going to put you alongside other people that have that positive give back attitude, that positive charitable abundance attitude, that positive good vibe attitude. And those are the type of people that you need to deal with in order to be successful. And so the third reason why charity is good, and is number one, the first step, is because it helps you increase your value. And so when you study finances, and the question a lot of people have when they study finances is, how do I make more money? And so the first step is to cut back on your spending. But for the sake of charity, charity increases your value, and increasing your value is another way that you can make more money. And when I say increase your value, I mean that sometimes you may volunteer in an area that you have no skill set in, that you have no expertise or background in. Yet you've discovered that you're really good at it. And so now you've learned by volunteering and being charitable, you learn something about yourself that you didn't know before. And what you learn turns out to be valuable. It turns out to be that now you have more value that you can offer than you knew that you did before being charitable. So that's why charity helps increase your value. And not only by helping you learn new skills and helping you learn new things about yourself, it also gives you something to put in your resume that displays your value, your accomplishments, and things that you're able to do too and provide as well. So it also increases your value in the sense of you're taking a job and career route, and you have a resume to display your talents to your potential employer, and you can add your volunteer and your charitable work to your resume, which would increase your value and make you more of a prospect, a better prospect to your potential employer. So that's why charity is also good in the reference to increasing your value, because it helps you learn new skills, and you may learn something about yourself that you didn't know. You may learn that you're good in something that you didn't really know that you were good in, that you never really had an interest in. And so also it's good because now you also have more accomplishments to put on your resume, which makes you a better prospect in the hiring process if you choose to go the job right or the career route. And so now the next reason why charity is so good is because it helps you with your taxes. And if you've seen the introduction episode, you know that taxes is one of the steps along the path to the 21 steps of financial freedom and generational wealth. And on the introduction episode, we briefly went over taxes and how itemization is the most important part of filing your taxes, being able to figure out the items that are write-off worthy and then writing them off to minimize what you owe to the IRS. Or it could actually get you a return from the IRS to where the IRS owes you money instead of you owing them. And so taxes and itemization is what helps you owe the IRS less, or in some cases have the IRS pay you. And so in reference to charity, when you volunteer or when you donate to tax exempt organizations, then you can write off that time. You can write off anything that you had to purchase during that time to volunteer, and you can write off whatever you donate. If it's cash, or if it's not cash, you can donate the cash equivalent, or you can write off the cash equivalent of the donation that you gave. And so, for example, like Goodwill, it's not a nonprofit, but it is tax exempt, meaning that when you give your clothes to Goodwill, they're going to sell it for profit, yet they also provide you the opportunity to get a write-off for your donations. So you can give your clothes to Goodwill, they give you a receipt, and then the value of the clothes that you donate, you can write that off on your taxes. And so it's not just Goodwill, it's other different organizations that are tax exempt. And then in charity, you may have some strong ideas and things in life that you value and that you see that are very important. And so you may want to get behind different organizations that are tax exempt status that are also aligned with those same values, that are also appreciate the same things that you appreciate. And so therefore, not only can you be charitable and making an impact in a cause that you believe in, but you can also use that charity to create a tax write-off, so where you can retain most of your money when you file your taxes at the end of the year. So this is why charity is important as it relates to taxes. And then also in a business, because incorporating a business is part of the steps towards financial freedom and generational wealth too. So incorporating your business and then being charitable as a business allows you to even recoup more money from taxes when you do your taxes at the end of the year. And by law, once you reach a certain tax bracket, most major businesses have to do donations, have to do charity. By law, they have to. And so what they usually do is they usually wait till around Christmas time at the end of the fiscal year, so that when they donate, they can write it off and file their taxes in January and then get the benefits right then in January, or whenever the Fed opens up for the year on their tax return. And so that's another way that you can become charitable, not only as an individual, but also as a business, because being a business owner is also a part of the 21 steps to financial freedom and generational wealth. And so now you can use charity as it relates to taxes, and charity as it relates to your business and taxes. And that's why charity is the first step, because it ties into so many other steps along your journey to financial freedom and generational wealth. But also, the mind frame is important, because everything that you do, everything that we see comes from your mind. And so if your mind isn't stable, if your mind isn't clear, if your mind isn't on a good vibe, then what comes out of it is not going to be on a good vibe. It's not going to be clear and stable. And so that's the first reason that charity is good. It puts you on a good godly mindset, a good positive give back mindset. And in anything that you do, that mindset is important, first of all. And so that's why charity is good. And then also we said networking opportunities, increasing your value, and now taxes as it relates to a personal tax return and a business tax return. All right. And so the next way charity is important is when it comes to a business, is a foundation. Okay. And so a foundation is when, so for example, if you have a business name, let's say your business is named Mark's Tires, right? So you got Mark's Tires LLC, and then you open up the Mark's Tires Foundation. You see what I'm saying? And so now, the same way on the introduction episode, we said that your business allows you to go forth and multiply. So you could do more as a business than you could do as an individual, in reference to generating income, providing opportunity for others, and having an impact on your community. And so now you can take that a step further and multiply your business by creating a foundation. And so therefore, if you see another organization that aligns with the views or principles that your brand aligns with, and they have similar cares and things that they feel that they're important causes that they stand behind as an organization, and those causes align with your brand and your foundation, then you can partner up with them and help them do a charity campaign to where a portion of the proceeds goes to your foundation, because you're bringing your following and your crowd to their situation and helping their situation grow. And so therefore you get a portion of the proceeds for that, and then a portion of the proceeds goes to the charitable cause that y'all are rallying behind. And so that also helps you to generate more opportunity, because even though it's a foundation, the organization still has to pay the people for their time. So for example, if your foundation gets behind, let's say, breast cancer, right? And you want to raise awareness for breast cancer and raise money for breast cancer. And so you align with the American Breast Cancer Association Society. And so now you use your foundation and your marketing skills and your client base for your foundation and bring them over to the breast cancer awareness organization and have them donate for this cause of breast cancer. And it might be breast cancer awareness month. And so now, not only can you do that for that instant, but certain things like breast cancer month and things that are annual, you can set it up to where your foundation has these type of events every year. And then you do your pricing. So your foundation shows that in order for us to get behind you in the means of manpower, you may need some media, you may need some social media. This is what it costs us as an organization to do it. And so even though it's a nonprofit, you still get paid for your time. And so when you align with the other organization, you can provide opportunities by paying the members of your foundation for their time. And then again, based on the cause that y'all got behind and the goals that y'all set, after your staff has been paid and depend on what's left over, A portion of the proceeds can go to the cause, and then a portion of the proceeds go to your foundation for being able to support and also give them a backing and an extra edge in reference to marketing and bringing your client base over to their client base, exposing them to new clients, and then helping them raise donations. So you get paid for the work that you put in and the value that you bring with your foundation. And then again, that also allows you to do different tax write-offs and things like that. And then also in the foundation, if you place the business vehicle in the ownership of the foundation, you get certain tax credits and things like that as well. And again, I'm not a lawyer, so you're going to have to look at the laws for the taxes and the organizations for your state in particular, because each state is different. So make sure that you check out the taxes laws as it relates to a foundation, the tax laws as it relates to an LLC and a corporation, and as it relates to the trust. That's not this episode, but you want to make sure that you know all the laws in your state, in your county in particular, so that along your financial journey, you don't get tripped up and you're not confused about the steps that you're taking because you know the law. Because the things that I'm saying may not work in your state, but depending on what the laws are in your state, you still may be able to use this information and create a workaround based on the laws in your state. So therefore, we just sharing the blueprint. I'm giving you information based on my experience and also the things that I've learned from the people that I deem successful. And so the foundation is another way that you can become charitable. It's another way that you can multiply yourself as a business and as an organization. There's another way that you can create tax benefits for your business and for your person by being charitable through the foundation and as well as through being charitable as an individual person. And so the last reason, but not least, why charity is number one and why it's important in reference to your financial freedom and generational wealth is because charity helps you gain favors. And a lot of times, favors are more valuable than money because favors may present something, an opportunity or something that you couldn't pay for normally, but you are granted because you earned their favor, you earned their grace. And so see if you know anybody that you know has a business or starting a business, and if you don't have anything else better to do with your time, then help them out. Help them. A lot of the times when people start their business, something simple as a like, a comment on social media, a share, anything like that can help them out a lot. And so in being charitable, you can gain favors by helping people out that need help without asking for anything in return. But the law of reciprocity is not going to let them forget that good deed that you did for them. The law of reciprocity states that when you do something for somebody, they automatically feel obligated to do something for you in return. And so, again, we're being charitable. We're not doing it to look for anything in return. But we also understand that we're going to gain favor. And so you don't, when you do charity and you gain a favor, you never want to lose your favor by trying to monetize your charity. You see what I'm saying? You're volunteering, and then after you finish, you try to negotiate some money or negotiate what you're going to get for being charitable. So that's going to take you out the good graces, take you out the favor. So in order to be charitable in reference to gaining grace and gaining favor, you want to do your charity, you want to volunteer, give your time or whatever it is, resources, money, whatever it is, without looking for anything in return. That's how you gain favor. And then you never know, that friend that you helped when they were starting their business, they could be the next Jeff Bezos, the next Mark Zuckerberg. And then they're going to remember that favor that you gave them when they were first starting out and they were expecting a whole lot of support and they really didn't get the support they expected, but you were there and you supported them during those times. They're not going to forget that. And then it may come a time where you need to call in that favor. And now they're in a position to where they can give you a favor or two. And it's not because you were doing it looking for that, but it's because you were being charitable you're in a good mindset, positive mindset, and you're giving off good vibes, you're giving off good volunteer efforts, good energy, you're being charitable, and you have a giving mindset, an abundance mindset, and therefore you've been gaining favors along the way, along your path towards financial freedom and generational wealth. And then down the line, you're in a position to where you can call in for some of those favors to help keep you afloat and help keep you going. And so that's going to be it for this episode. Uh, Again, charity helps you keep a good positive mind frame. It's a good tool for networking, helps you increase your value, it helps you create tax benefits, write-offs, and things like that. Charity, in the reference of a foundation for your business, helps you to become charitable as a business, as an organization, more than just an individual. And then charity, last but not least, helps you gain favors among your network, among your community, and people that you help out. So this is the first step to creating financial freedom and generational wealth, pardon me. And so again, we want your feedback. So please like, comment, and share. Let us know what you think. Let us know how we're doing. And then we also have items and services and products and tools that can help you in the description box. If you choose to move forward with any of those products that help the channel out, and you can also donate if you would like to via CashApp or Zelle. So again, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for your time. We appreciate everything. And hopefully this podcast is helping you out along your path to financial freedom and generational wealth. So until next time, check God checking out. Bless up. I'm Kadus Kirmawe, Abab Janai, Adadiya, and Abessa, Exhibia, Haya, Selassie, Rastafari.